feel like it's been a long time since I made a video. I feel like my mind's been all over the place. I feel like I need to take a break and assess like where I was in life. The person I was before is not the person I am now. And I didn't know who I was, so how can I create content not knowing who I am? I have made at least 6 videos in the past 3 months and haven't uploaded or edited any of them. You know, growing up, I always felt insecure. And I feel like my parents really didn't help with that. And they kind of, in a way, made it worse. And, you know, as I became an adult, wasn't in the healthiest relationship, and again, felt trapped and couldn't be the person I wanted to be. And I don't mean that like with my sexuality, I just mean that overall. Like me wanting to better myself mentally and physically was really, what is the word? A burden on these people and my parents. Even now, my parents still have that like toxic trait of just trying to put me down. I always felt a little insecure, and you know, I didn't have people in my corner to help uplift me. You know, the last 3 years of creating content have been amazing for me. I got to grow as a content creator. I got to be able to get monetized, and I'm grateful. I've worked with many amazing brands, but it's been very hard to grow as a person within a content creator, because behind the scenes, you guys don't see all the things that I was struggling to do. I was struggling a lot. I was working excess amount. I think I was working like 55 to 60 hours a week. And I know for some people that's not that's kind of normal, but to do that, live on your own, be a single father, and have to drive 40 minutes to my parents so they could watch him, 40 minutes to work, 40 minutes home from work, 20 minutes home from work, and then drive like another 40 minutes back to get my son. It was just a complete circle. And it was very hard. I was literally editing YouTube videos at work, which, I mean, thankfully I was able to do that. But at the same time, it was just like, it was a lot. And then dealing with like a lot of stress of like being a single father. And then I put a lot more stress on myself by going to school. I didn't want to continue to do the job I was doing, so I said, let's go to school and get a degree and become an accountant. But I wanted to become an accountant for myself because I wanted to own a business. And I felt like school was good. I really felt like I was doing something right, and I felt like I was in the place I was supposed to be. But then it got to the point where my parents were getting frustrated because they were watching my son on my time, but also my son's mom's time. And I was telling my parents, like, what are y'all doing? Like, y'all like literally doing the most for yourselves. And they would take it out on me, and they told me pretty much, you need to figure out what you're doing because we're not going to continue to watch him. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I have to go to school. So I ended up dropping out of school. I mainly told myself, you're doing this because you don't really need it. But at the same time, I felt like it was because I was forced to think I didn't need it. I felt like after that, I didn't have anything to really look forward to. I mean, I had my content to keep me distracted, which I'm really thankful for all of you guys, because if it wasn't for y'all, I don't think I'd be here right now. It was a lot. And, you know, I decided to make a docuseries about my life. I made 2 episodes. I think it was supposed to have at least 5 parts. And it never finished. It was because I didn't want to put something out there that was not going to benefit or help anybody, because me and my son's mom don't have the best relationship. The 3rd episode of the docuseries was going to be us having a conversation about our relationship and how toxic it was and how mistreated I was, and, you know, express a lot of things, but it just was very one-sided. I just felt like it wasn't necessary to post because it wasn't really an argument, but it was more of a, we're not getting anywhere. So I just left it at that. And that is why the docuseries never came out. I think after the docuseries, maybe a few months later, is when I broke my foot. And that was the worst time of my life, because I remember the night I had broke my foot, I called my parents and I was like, hey, I was like, I think I broke my foot. And my mom was like, well, I don't like driving in the dark. So I was pissed. I was like, fuck it, I'll just drive myself. So I literally, mind you, I broke my right foot. So I'm driving with my left big toe, with my leg crossed, and me holding my leg like this. So it wouldn't move, because any slight movement, it hurt. And it ended up being broken. That whole period of me breaking my foot and my parents not wanting to take me to doctor's appointments or wanting to take me to my surgery, they ended up taking me to my surgery and I think one of my doctor's appointments. But my mom just kept insisting, like, you're like being dramatic, like just drive with your other foot. Mind you, after my surgery, I had an extremely big boot on my foot. So I just ended up saying, like, I really only have myself. So one thing I want to talk about is that it may be a little confusing about everything I'm talking about, but pretty much what I'm trying to insinuate is that I was surrounded by so much toxic people that I kind of just shut down. And for a long time, I would say most of this year, I've been very like low key, and I haven't really talked about much, but I have went through a lot this year. And just to kind of backtrack a little bit, after my lease ended last year in June, I had chose to stay with my parents to save money because at the time, I wanted to move to California. But it was just it was the worst time of my life. Me and my parents never really got along to begin with. But, after filming my docuseries, I think almost 2 years ago, like the parts with my family and us talking about my childhood and kind of like reconciling, I think that's the word. But I thought things would get a little bit better, but they didn't. When I moved back with them, it was like living my childhood all over again, and just them being so extremely toxic and making me feel unwelcomed and like I wasn't doing anything with my life was not a good feeling for myself. And then, being in a pandemic and being stuck at home, I kind of had no choice but to be there. And any chance I got, I would go to the gym. I was going to the gym at least 2-3 times a day just to get away from them. And, once I started working, my mom was pretty much making me feel like shit. So I worked as much as I could to get out as fast as I could. And I found out a lot of things that she was doing behind my back when I moved out. And it really just made me shut down and not really want to talk about myself to people. And I feel like it's not fair to myself and also you guys, because I feel like we're family, and I want to continue to grow as a person, and you kind of have to talk about things. So I'm not talking about these things to bash my family or anybody. I'm genuinely only talking about these things to let people know you are not alone. And I hope my story, well, part of my story, because there's a lot, but you guys can relate to and understand that you're not alone, and I know exactly how you feel. I'm sorry, we can get back to the video now. Being in the relationship that I am in today, and we've been together for almost a year. Honestly, I am extremely happy, and I've never been in this type of relationship where the person is actually like extremely positive, cares for you, like uplifting, like pretty much is your number one supporter. And it's weird because a lot of the things that I've had to endure growing up, like about not feeling good about myself, I kind of brought into this relationship. So it's been a little uncomfortable trying to navigate that. But I think that is enough talking about all of that. So today has been very weird. I know it's Saturday, but like, I don't know. It just feels weird. I don't even know what to do. So I say me, but in reality it's me and my boyfriend, but I'm the one that is, a little all over the place. So I know I've given you guys a house tour before, but the house has changed again. I've said it in my house tour video that we continuously keep changing the house around. So we rearranged the bedroom. I like it like this. We actually put the bed against the wall. I like sleeping with the bed by the wall because I just like that sense of like security and comfort. Not saying that I don't have that before, but helps me fall asleep a lot easier, if that makes any sense. God, please watch over me. But a few weeks ago, my boyfriend was not home. He was away. And at like 12 o'clock at night, one of the shelvings in the closet had fell. At the time, I didn't know it was the shelf. And I was asleep. And I woke up and I was like, what the fuck? So then I just went back to sleep. And it happened again. I don't know, maybe like 10 minutes later. But it was a lot louder. And I was shook. I was so shook. And my friend ended up coming over. And that's when I opened the closet door. And I was just like, what the fuck? And there was no possible way those shelves would have fell on its own and broke. So I was just like, girl, I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. So we have that. Oh, also we have Zeke. We have a dog. His name is Zeke. I never really talked about him. He's asleep right now. But we got him from an animal shelter. If you guys want an animal, get him from the animal shelter. All right. So this broke. Also, the closet isn't really a mess, but it's still in the process of getting organized. But I have been organizing the closet. We brought one of the dressers in here to kind of put more stuff in. And yeah, peep the Chucky doll. But this shelf right here broke. And to be completely honest, there's no possible way it would have broke, because the way it's positioned is it's supported. So don't ask me. Oh, we also redid, hang on, I'm doing laundry, sorry. We also redid the hallway. I know I said before I wanted to make a vinyl record stand, but we ended up finding one at a thrift store for $45. And I was like, well, that'd be cheaper than just making one. And this one is antique, and y'all know I love antique things. It's probably low-key haunted. So right there it is. Oh, I wish I could turn the camera around. Bam. Bam. I have my vinyls. I feel like I'm doing a house tour. We had bought this. We didn't know where to put it at the time. We had it outside, but I brought it in. I was like, it would look nice there. And then my paradise sign. And then we put that there for now. And the rug is actually from Ollie's. It is in Ollie's. We had got like one of those big rugs, and I was like, we can cut it. And I was like, oh, let's put it here. So we put it here and made like a long runner rug. And then downstairs, there's like a little snake type of design, like the little rug. Oh, let me talk about something. So I had a job interview maybe like 2 months ago for a media manager position. So it's kind of like running this company's social media, nonprofit company. So it was a lot of like, how would you do a lot of the media managing with a limited budget to no budget, in the sense of like no actual budget for that part of the position. I mean, obviously I would get paid, but like I would have to be creative when it came to getting the word out on the company and continuing to grow. Now, there was a lot of issues with this company. This company was very old-fashioned, and they did things very old-fashioned. Their website needed like redesigned. They definitely needed advice. They definitely needed diversity. The company was a majority of the company, 99.9% of the company was old white people. There was no diversity and no culture, no nothing. It was just, and I'm not talking bad about them, but I am very frustrated with them, because when I had the interview, I had 2 interviews, and I was like up there in the top people, because they had interviewed people, and then they did a second interview, which the second interview was the last interview. In the second interview, we went in more into depth about the company and like what I would do and all this other stuff. And they took notes on what I was saying, which is fine, which is completely fine. But they didn't hire me. And what they did was take all of my ideas, all of the things that I wanted to do, all of the things that they could fix and improve, and they took it and they ran with it. So that made me a little frustrated because I've seen and I've read and seen about a lot of people that have dealt with that, where companies literally use them for their ideas and never either compensate them or hire them. And it's very frustrating because it's like, what the hell? Like, you're literally using all my ideas and you didn't even like hire me. Like, and I think the thing that bothers me the most is that people look at me like I'm dumb or something because, you know, I don't have a college degree in media marketing and stuff, but I've done a lot of it, you know, obviously brand deals and, you know, my own websites and stuff. And I feel like people take that as a sign of being able to take advantage of. It really was frustrating. So if anybody has any advice, like, what should I do? Should I not, like, just next time be in an interview like this? Hi, welcome to my cooking channel. This video really has no context or purpose, but I don't have any potatoes. I kind of forgot to buy some. So we're cutting french fries, but we're gonna make like a potato bowl little skillet thing. It's all vegan though. So, fun fact, if you don't have potatoes or you just ran out, just use french fries. What I do is I warm it up for like 30 seconds to like soften them a little bit so I can cut them. And then I cut them into little pieces. And then it's like, I don't even know. I started doing this one time because we had like a lot of french fries. At one point we had like 6 bags of french fries. They were all different types of fries, but to get rid of them, I was like, all right, let's make like a breakfast bowl. So today I'm trying to like switch it up and make a dinner bowl. A dinner bowl. So this has vegan chicken sausage in it. I cut up some peppers. I put a little bit of sofrito because I'm Puerto Rican. And the potatoes. Oh, and some olive oil, which I'm gonna have to add a little bit more because I kind of did a lot of it. Growing up, I was always like, people were always like, you're not Hispanic, you can't even speak Spanish. And then I'd be like, my skin color, my last name. But it was a struggle growing up. I talked about it once in a video, but I blame my dad. Like, I'm suing him for defamation of character because how you give birth to a Spanish child and don't teach him Spanish? My mom too, but my mom's half white, so I'm suing my grandpa, my mom's dad, because he's Puerto Rican. Both of them getting sued for defamation of character. But yeah, it's been hard out in these streets. Hey Google, how you say it's been hard out in these streets in Spanish?
In Spanish, that's ha sido duro en estas calles.
I see the duro en estas calles. So this will look like it's not done. We not done, baby. Girl. We got some zucchini. I think this is zucchini. I'm pretty sure it is. I don't remember. Yeah, it is. You know how chefs be like, I want to do that one day. So also what I'm going to add is a little bit of lemon juice because we could use it.